Alright, so here we are to the second match of Inversion versus Team Australia. Inversion took the first round with a pretty solid game, although Team Australia did hold their own. And we kind of have a same startup as the last match. So Team Australia, as Marine starting in shipping and Ellen starting in warehouse. So a very interesting strategy here. All of Inversion is just pushing as one big skulk path to a server room. So probably checking to see a server room is one of the three possible starting locations on this map. So probably checking to see if they could do that first. And looks like Ranchology is going straight to Gorge. Probably get up early second hive there. And on Marines, looks like we have a standard 2-2-1 split up. You know, just have one Marine in base, stay, build stuff, and defend, and then two groups of two push to other sides of the map. So, pretty standard play. Looks like our first contact's gonna be. There's Gorgeous doing some damage to logistics there, but our first contact's probably gonna be an elevator transfer here. Oh no, Tempest is hanging out. Probably waiting to see if these Marines bite. So, Rantology being pretty aggressive in her Gorgon here. That's a good spot to put up Clog Wall, but you know, the Marines, if they get aggressive, they could easily push through that area. It's pretty open. So it looks like Raptor and Dust and Gorgeous jump in. It took down Dust there. Pretty good move by Motman, but he goes down. Gorgeous there. Looks like Raptor's probably getting cleaned up by MF and Clowning here. Oh, and it looks like Inversion's taking a strategy you don't usually see in this competitive game. Instead of going for a quick second hive, they're just rushing 4 RTs. It could be hit or miss move, but it looks like they've kept Marine pressure on the back foot here. So Marines, you know, the Team Australia not being able to push in very much. There's really no need to worry about them. Oh, they're building 5 RTs. They're going straight for a res rush here. Probably try to get up fades as fast as possible. You know, get as much res flowing. And frankly, they're matching the Marine number of RTs at the moment. Looks like Marines are probably just going to get up their 5th RT right now. A lot of drifters too. That's something we didn't see from Team Australia last map. We saw a few drifters, but you know, going with the RTs first rather than the second hive, freed them up with a little bit of res to get those early drifters around the map. Allows them to, you know, check Marine movements and attacks there. Of that drifter and ore processing, probably gonna die real quick. That's the only problem. Is the Marines they get some obs if they get their obs up as they did here. Rushing phase gate's usually a pretty standard move here. It's like Clowning and Motman taking down Dust, and probably Tempest goes down to an ore processing. But those obs unfortunately uncloak your drifters and make them easy targets because, you know, they're put in places that are like here that are just, you know, not easily defendable there. Marines and ore processing, they're kind of splitting up. That's a little bit surprising. If they, you know, kept a little together, put pressure on warehouse would have been nice. But looks like the Clowny was trying to save this RT from Raptor here unsuccessfully. Phase gate up in elevator transfer, it looks like. Allows them to put some more pressure up on server room hive, which has been dropped and about half finished at the moment. So Marines not doing too bad, but of course the problem is they're letting the aliens get a ton of res. Some combat here in processing pew pew, and it looks like MF go down to a nice little skulk pack of Inversion players here. But yeah, if you look at the res flow again, that total res, the aliens are doing well to keep up, nearly keep up to Marines, and I go back to that, you know, that ratio. Ideally, you want to keep them at least as aliens Marine res flow only about total res collected only about 1.5 times your ones, and Inversion's doing a great job of doing that. That early, basically 5 RT rush. Or push, more or less, help them out a lot with that. And even though Marines, you know, they're getting a lot of res flow there, we're already past, you know, 37, 35. That's I mean, that at the 5-minute mark, Inversion has as much res now as Team Australia did at the end of last game at nearly the 15-minute mark. So you can see this res push is working out well for Inversion at the moment. So some combat here into Elevator Overlook. We got a Raptor. Of course, he's Raptor and Dust have both gun lurk. Dust in particular is a pretty deadly lurk player. And with these high pings, these Team Australia players are probably going to have some issues hitting these fast-moving lurks. Now, shotguns and armor 1 is going for Marines here, and we see that res saw them get leap. Looks like they got blink real quick, actually, aliens. So I suspect once Tempest gets enough res, he'll probably be. Looks like he's the one saving for a fade there. There's a more forward armory going up in elevator transfer. Shotguns and armor 1 finishing there. Let's see if we can get some more first-person action here, or third-person viewpoint of these attacks here. It's like Montman's trying to go for some shotguns there, clowning and mostly clowning here. That's the nice thing about these lurks here. They can just sit back behind this clog wall, drop down whenever it gets too much damage, allows Rantology to heal him up. Making this a pretty, I mean, it's an aggressive position, but it's a good choke point to put against Marines there. Some combat going in tram hump here. This is usually a tough spot for aliens, except for maybe lurks because of the mobility. There's not a lot of cover in the middle of the map here. But these lurks are doing a good job of harassing Marines, keeping them locked up in this location here. So we can see, these even res flow numbers means Inversion is doing a great job of keeping up with Marine res flow. Team Australia is going to have a lot of trouble. Basically, once these fades and so forth come popping out. Even Gorgeous looks like Gorgeous is almost enough res to get a fade here. Second CC being dropped there. But unless they can push up, do some damage, take Elevator Overlook, North Tunnel, or processing down, they're going to be in real trouble here. It's like some pressure in repair room here. Tempest trying to looks like do some, not any damage yet, but do some damage to the RTs there. Same thing with Gorgeous. He's almost dead there, but he might be able. He retreats there for the moment. Probably a smart move. Try to see Tempest and Gorgeous here. Just trying to do a. Looks like Tempest might be going down there. Oh no! Gorgeous comes in for the save there. So good teamwork there and communication allowed them to take that Marine down and probably kill an RT here. And Raptor here is going to be able to keep MF from getting into that. So Marines are going to go down to 4 RTs to 5 for aliens, which is if as Marines you let the alien res flow total res amount of collected surpass you, you're in real trouble. Looks like Marines are getting finally aggressive enough to actually push an elevator overlook here. Killing out, they took down Dust, good play there, and push Rantology back into server room. Looks like they're following. Getting a Gorge kill here would be useful, but they really needed to kill Rantology as a Gorge about 5 minutes ago. And now we got 4 Marines here getting support from the commander, but the whole alien team is just converging on this location. And now we got a Tempest and Gorgeous fade. This push is just, Team Australia they were doing decent. They just weren't aggressive enough to push in here before his fades got in here. And this is probably the quickest you're going to see fades out in a competitive match. I mean, we're fades before 9 minutes. I think the fastest you can usually get is about 7, and that's with a ridiculous number of RTs. Or 7 or 8 minutes. And 9 minutes is a pretty fast competitive game to see, fades on the field. But here they are, and they even get some rest to spare. So, this is usually aliens are on the back foot up until they can get fades on the fields. Inversion has some good lurk players here, which has allowed them to delay that issue a little bit. But these fades are just cleaning up now. Marines got shotguns, weapons 2, and armor 1, which is pretty much mostly the bare minimum you need to fight against fades, but it's not really doing them any good at the moment. Looks like level 2 armor going up. Not really as useful against Fades. I kind of would have wished to see in Weapons 3 going up. You know, getting that extra firepower against these Fades would have been nice. And you know, here the Marines, they're doing their best to concentrate their firepower. That's the way you got to kill these Fades. You know, you can't take them on 2v1 or 3v1. You got to do, you know, 5v2 or something like that. And that split up there is going to do some damage there. But at this point, I mean, the aliens have almost surpassed Marine res flow. Looks like Mopman and Clowning are splitting up. You can see this little group of clogs right here. This is where the aliens' upgrade is. You know, they're smart. They decide, oh, we got an Onos here. So it looks like Dusk. I don't think he had enough res, so it's probably a calm dropped Onos there, but yeah, it was good enough. I think it was Clowning. He was in warehouse. I mean, he knew where that chamber there. I think it was probably Kara. So it was probably a shell in there that was covered by all those clogs. It just delayed him just enough so that, you know, that Onos and those Fades could put the pressure, force Team Australia to basically have to beacon back to save their base here. Armor 2 going up there. Not gonna do much. You still get only 3 swipes. It only takes Phase 3 swipes to kill you, just like Armor 1. You just end up with, you know, 20 extra armor after 2 swipes than you would with Armor 1 going on. Now we see the Advanced Armory going up, so it'll be interesting to see if they try to, you know, what kind of strategy they're gonna try here. Looks like they're going for the prototype lab here, and we'll probably have to see a beacon to elevator transfers to save this base. Yeah, and here we go. You know, Dusk and Tempest, they know this is, you know, unfortunately the Onus is a bit slow, so against, you know, level 2 Marines, a group of them, you know, Dusk took almost, looks like half, a little less than half damage there. But, you know, these constant pressure on elevator transfers really taking damage to the Marine res flow. They're down to 3 now. Alien's able to use this constant pressure on elevator to take down logistics, take down repair room. You know, and as you can see now, aliens have now surpassed Marines in total res flow. So this is going to be tricky for Marines to come back. It's not impossible. I've seen it happen before, but it's difficult in this situation. You need to start killing those Fades. You need to kill those, you know, Onos. We know we have 2 Onos on the field. Looks like they took down, I missed it when, but took down Gorgeous as a Fade at some point here. So that's a good start, but, you know, they can build up a critical mass of Onos here. It'll be problematic. Both Raptor and Dusk and Tempest now pushing in here. Unfortunately, you kind of need jetpacks in this situation. They're going to beacon, but they got, you know, 3 guys dead, so only, you know, 2 are going to spawn in this base. And against this mass of aliens, they're not going to be able to do anything. Pretty much the whole alien team here, elevated transfer is likely going to go down at this spot here. Yeah, Gorgeous on the power. 2 Onos, unfortunately, without jetpacks, 2 Onos and a Fade is pretty much the limit of even 5 Marines to take down. Those Onos, they're slow and their attacks are a bit difficult to do sometimes, but they can tank damage like nobody's business, and that's sort of what they just did there. So even though, you know, they got the proto up, the advanced armory up, I don't even think they get. I guess jetpacks are researching. Unfortunately, they still need that second CC to even think about buying those jetpacks, and Tempest, you know, doing some damage to the base there. I think Marine's gonna have to. Oh, Clown is getting back. They might not have to beacon. Yeah, Clown is able to push him back, but they need a second CC somewhere if they want to be able to use those jetpacks, and it doesn't look like they're going to have the chance. Inversion's just not going to let them. And there's even a dropping hives to stop blocking. I'd love to see Inversion drop a hive in a elevator transfer, just prevent Marines from ever even getting that, you know, space without having to kill a hive there. But looks like for the yep, there we go. So they don't even need this 4th hive. They're just denying Marines that second CC, so they don't have to worry about exos or jetpacks. You can see it's even red there, telling you can't even get it. Now, you know, if Marines wanna get a jetpacks up, they have to keel a hive, which is a lot. It's a more difficult proposition than Widow One. And they're getting looks like level 3 is researching. That'll give them a little help, but at this point, I don't see Marines really coming back from this situation. Unfortunately, they're a bit too far down. Let aliens get way too much res in that early game. We saw a 9-minute phase, which is pretty ridiculously fast in a competitive match, frankly. Now it's just up to the aliens to get enough critical mass to push in there and end it. Looks like they don't have Bio Bomb yet, so it looks like Rantalish is just being healing these Onos here, but I don't think they need it. And it looks like Team Australia is accepting the inevitable there, blowing the rest of their money on a little light show and GG in it. So good match by Team Australia. They held their own a little bit early, but they weren't able to get enough aggression on alien res nodes to really finish it there, and they just let them get way too much res in the early game. So all in all, a good match, and it looks like Inversion pretty solidly takes this matchup 2-0.